my main focus tonight is about being a leader. And the reason I want to bring that up is because so oftentimes people in and outside this business or any businesses think that certain things aren't their job, or maybe don't want to get involved in certain things, that they want somebody else to take care of those things or handle certain situations. But I'm here to tell you, especially if you've been at a business for any amount of time, and you've got any kind of longevity, you've got some influence. And you don't have to have the title of a manager or a boss to be a leader. I hope you understand that. There's a lot of times there's a difference in those two. And I've heard a couple people talking about that recently, Sean Hayes for one, but that's something I've always believed. Being a leader, there's some qualifications there and some characteristics that you would see in a leader that you don't necessarily see in bosses and managers. Because there's a lot of managers and bosses, that's all they do. They manage and boss. They don't lead people. They don't help people grow. They don't offer information. They don't offer help to people. They're content just getting by. And I guess their job is secure because whenever, that's right, Kenneth. Because whenever I was coming up in management, there's a lot of people in managerial positions that couldn't manage themselves out of a wet paper sack. And and the one reason I want to bring this up, because in this business in particular, in the car business, but it could be in any business, we need more leaders in this world. We need more people that are willing to help people. We need more people that are willing to sacrifice themselves, sacrifice maybe a deal or a sale or money or something to help other people, because that's the only way that you can truly get people to grow, is if you sacrifice something for them, offer information, go above and beyond. You know, I always, when I was coming through high school, my senior quote was, "Be a leader, not a follower." And I don't know if I've necessarily lived up to that, but I try. And the idea behind it is being a leader is going to get more respect than somebody that's not. Does that make sense? Because I can see somebody that maybe didn't produce be a manager, and by the way they handle themselves, the way they conduct themselves, they don't get my respect, because respect is earned. It's something that you have to earn from people. And if you're always barking orders or yelling and cussing and all that stuff, that's not going to get that respect that you need. So if you are indeed a manager or a boss right now and you hear this, learn how to be a leader if you can. I know a lot of people say leaders are born. You know, you can't create a leader. But I would say that I've kind of grown in that retrospect as a leader as I've gone. And I continue to get better on that. So keep this in mind when you go out each and every day. There's always somebody that you can influence. Okay? It could be a child. It could be your spouse. It could be somebody you see at the gas station that sees how you carry yourself. Because some bosses and managers can't carry themselves well. I've seen it. I've seen it out when they're out there hanging out in the bars and clubs and falling all over the place. You know, people see that stuff. I did that stuff when I was a manager back in retail. I did that stuff, and I didn't think about the consequences and the ramifications. Has been, Amanda, I appreciate you jumping in, AJ, but I didn't realize the ramifications of what I was doing that was possibly influencing somebody else that I was around. Now, I'm not perfect by any means, and nobody is, okay? But if you're not trying to influence and help people around you each and every day just by the way you conduct yourself and the way you act, there's something wrong. So I would suggest that you would look yourself in the mirror and find out what you can do different to change. Because we can all go out and call customers and sell cars and go to work and punch a clock and all that stuff. But in the day, if you're not trying to help people grow and you're not growing yourself, what are you doing? Are you content just being where you are? And that's where some managers and bosses are. They're content going in making their 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 grand every year. And they know that they're secure in their job in a lot of cases. And they don't care if the people under them fail. And that's astonishing to me, because in the way we're going in this society, there's more and more people that need that help. You know, when I was growing up, I didn't have a lot of people in my life leading me. And I'm in the older generation now. It's hard to say that, by the way, so y'all don't laugh, but I'm getting a little on up there in age. And at the end of the day, you want to influence somebody. You're not all, because I hear people all the time saying this. They say, I don't care what people think about me. Well, if you're in sales and you're commission based, you better care what people think about you. Because at the end of the day, those people that you don't think that you care what they think, they're the ones paying your paycheck. They're the ones that's going to buy from you. They're the ones that's going to help you make your money. Even if you're a boss. If you're a boss and a manager, guess who makes the money for you? It's not you. It's the people that work for you or work under you. They're the ones that make the money. So if you want to get better as a manager or boss, become a leader. Man, I'm going to read this question out loud real quick. I'm going to stop real quick. What do you suggest salespeople do to bring their managers toward training-oriented meetings instead of inspirational do-better meetings? Well, man, I'll tell you what. I don't know what the correct answer is. I'll offer my information. We have a sales meeting every single day. 6 days a week, sales meeting. And the majority of those, what's up, Cowboy Bill? Appreciate you tuning in. The majority of those meetings that we hold are, product driven and numbers driven in a lot of cases. But we do have motivational type meetings from time to time. And this is where I was going with this. I mean, it's kind of funny you asked that question, because I'm kind of going to the angle that I'm not necessarily concerned about what the managers are doing so much. Because if you've got 10 managers, 50% or 75% of those aren't going to be true leaders. So my point is that with this whole video, Amanda and Cowboy and whoever else is on here, is that you be the leader. You be the influencer. You be the one that changes the way people think and act on the car lot. It's hard to bring up sore subjects sometimes. A lot of these guys don't like to hear me either. But at the end of the day, I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about the customer and the direction of the business. And that's what you have to do. You create that new mentality to managers and other salespeople by the activity that you do. The things that you're doing can benefit other people, of course, but it changes the way their mentality and their thinking is. Do I get tired of going out here and moving cars by myself sometimes? Yeah, I do. But at the end of the day, I'm not doing it to impress people. I'm doing it because I know it needs to be done. So in my mind, I know I have to lead myself, but I'm hoping that influences other people. Do you get what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of salespeople in particular don't want to do the extra stuff. They don't want to be the leader. They don't want to be the person that people look up to. And I'm afraid to tell you that you have to be. You have to be, because we got so many young folks coming up right now that don't have that. They don't have father figures in the house to look up to. I didn't. I'm thankful that the Lord guided me in the way He did. But at the end of the day, the kids nowadays, a lot of them don't have father figures at home to lead them. Somebody's got to lead these kids. Somebody's got to lead the people in the businesses where they work. We need them in the car business. I'm going to tell you, some dealerships, we're not one of those companies that do this, but a lot of these dealerships and companies out there, they fire and hire managers like they're changing underwear. I mean, I don't get it. Why don't you groom those people? Don't you get tired of hiring and firing people? You let them work 2 or 3, 4 months, and then you fire them instead of trying to nurture them and help them grow. And that's where it's at as salespeople. You might have a consistent salesperson that sells 8, 9, 10, 6 cars a month, but they're constantly doing that. They're constantly doing those things and more, and we'll fire those people. But we don't fire the people or get rid of the people that are bad influences, skating people, coming in late to work all the time, not showing up for meetings, whatever the case may be. So what are we really doing? Are we helping people grow? Or are we just trying to fill slots? Anyway, that's probably enough rambling tonight. I just wanted to get that off my chest because I've been thinking about it. But whoever's listening to this, whoever watches this, I want you to understand something. Just because you don't have the boss or manager title doesn't mean you can't lead people and influence people, okay? you have to be the one that starts all this. Even if you have a bunch of salespeople and managers at your store, at your business, where you work, that don't lead people, that really don't know how to lead somebody or help somebody grow, you be the start of that. It's got to start somewhere. So it has to start with you and me. It has to start with those people that really want to help other people. There's a bunch of them out there right now that claim they do it, but there are some that's really doing it, and I appreciate them. I try to lead by example. That's one of the biggest things that I live by, and I'm not perfect at that either. So perfect at that either. So it's just a way to start, man. You got to start. You guys out there in the car business that don't have good leadership in your stores, you be the leader. You make the difference. You change people's perceptions. You be the influence on others. You take people under the wing. You help people grow. Do those things, because at the end of the day, we got to. If we can't keep our name on the front of the building, you know, where you gonna work? So anyway, that's all I got. I hope you guys have a good evening, and I appreciate you tuning in. Y'all share this. The Fist Pump Guy, selling cars the right way, because it's the only way I know. Follow the Fist Pump Enterprise.